The floorboards wouldn't stop creaking that night, even though no one else was home. It started the evening I came back from college to visit my grandmother. The house was old, built sometime in the early 1900s, all wood. Everything groaned when you touched it. She lived alone since Grandpa died, and though she insisted she was fine, I knew better. I got there around 6 p.m. It was cold and drizzling. She greeted me at the door in her old blue robe, her gray hair tied in a bun like always, her hands shaking just slightly when she hugged me. "Something's wrong with the house," she whispered before I could even step inside. She wouldn't say what, just that the creaking wasn't normal. "It moves differently now," she said. "The house, like it's breathing." I slept in my old room that night. The bed was smaller than I remembered. The rain tapped lightly against the window. The house was dead quiet until midnight. That's when I heard it, the long, slow groan of wood shifting beneath weight, in the hallway outside my door. I sat up. Another creak. Closer. I held my breath and reached for my phone, but it was dead. I forgot to charge it. The hallway light was off. The only thing I could hear now was the sound of something dragging, something soft, like a foot or a hand. Then silence. I didn't sleep after that. In the morning, my grandmother didn't mention it. She made oatmeal and tea humming softly like nothing happened. But when I asked if she heard anything last night, she froze. "I told it to stay under the floor," she said. "What?" I asked. Her hands were shaking again. "It doesn't like the light." That day I looked around the house, under the rugs, inside closets, the basement. Nothing. Everything looked normal, dusty, old, boring. But there was one room I couldn't get into. The door to the attic was nailed shut from the outside. When I asked her about it, she said, "We don't go up there anymore." That evening, I tried calling my mom. Still no signal. No Wi-Fi. My phone wouldn't connect to anything. I even tried walking down the driveway, but the moment I stepped past the mailbox, the air felt wrong, like being watched through a keyhole. I turned back. I decided I'd sleep downstairs on the couch. I didn't want to be near the hallway. That night, around 2 a.m., I woke to the sound of something tapping. 3 times. Soft and deliberate. Coming from directly beneath me, I got up, knees aching from sleeping awkwardly. The tapping stopped. I placed my ear to the wooden floor. Silence. Then whispering. Muffled. Faint. I couldn't make out words, but I swear it was a woman's voice. I got a knife from the kitchen. I pulled the rug away, and that's when I noticed it. One plank near the fireplace was lighter than the others. Newer, poorly hammered in. I pried it up. Beneath it was a small square crawl space, bare dirt. Cold air rushed up, damp and metallic smelling. And just as I leaned closer to look inside, my grandmother appeared behind me. Her voice was barely audible. "It's under the floor. I told you not to listen to it." Then she turned and walked out the front door into the rain. She didn't take a coat. She didn't look back. I didn't see her again. I called the police the next morning. They searched the woods, the nearby roads, even drained the pond on the edge of the property. Nothing. No footprints. No body. No sign she ever left the house. They asked me if she had dementia, if she'd wandered off before. But I knew what I heard. I knew what she said. "It's under the floor." They let me stay in a hotel for the next few days. I didn't go back into that house alone. Not after what happened the last night I stayed there. It was the night I returned with a flashlight. I had to see what was in that crawl space. I removed more planks, dug down with a garden trowel until I hit something hard. It was a box. Old, wooden, sealed shut with nails and something black and waxy. I pulled it out. The moment it left the earth, the room temperature dropped. I heard something above me, in the attic, pacing, slow, deliberate, back and forth just above my head. I took the box with me to the hotel. I shouldn't have. The nightmares started that night. My grandmother standing in the attic, her face twisted and pale, whispering in a voice that wasn't hers. "You let it out." "I haven't opened the box. I don't think I ever will." "And the house? It's still there. Sometimes if you walk by it late at night, you can see the attic light flick on, even though there's no electricity running to the place anymore." My friend disappeared on the trail, but the sound of her screaming never stopped. It happened 3 years ago. I've never told anyone the full truth, not even her family. I don't know if they'd believe me. Hell, I still barely believe it myself. Her name was Casey. We'd been best friends since high school. She was loud, smart, fearless, the type to poke around places no sane person would, which is why she insisted we do that stupid night hike up Devil's Spine. That trail is a tight, winding path along a ridgeline deep in Oregon forest. Locals say it's cursed. Every few years, someone vanishes up there. Never found, never explained. Casey laughed it off. "It's just trees and coyotes," she said. We started the hike at 7:30 p.m., just before sunset. By 9 p.m., it was pitch black. The trees pressed in like walls. Our flashlights barely pierced the fog that rolled in from nowhere. We heard noises, sticks snapping, low groans far off the trail, but we chalked it up to animals. Then came the laughter. Faint, female, but wrong. It didn't echo the way sound should in open space. It felt like it came from inside the trees. Casey froze. She pointed ahead to a turn in the trail where the fog looked darker somehow, thicker, like smoke that didn't move. "I think there's someone there," she said. I saw it too. A silhouette, impossibly thin, almost like it was stretched, standing motionless just off the trail. Then it stepped back into the woods and vanished. Casey did what she always did, and she chased it. I told her to stop, but she was already pushing through the trees. I had no choice. I followed, calling her name. We moved maybe 50 feet off the trail, and everything went dead quiet. No wind, no bugs. Not even our footsteps made sound anymore. Just that cold silence, so thick it felt like cotton in my ears. Then I heard her scream, not a short, startled scream, but a long, rising, shattering scream. It went on and on, too long, until it cut off like someone pulled a plug. I ran toward it, but there was nothing. Just a clearing, empty. No Casey, no footprints, no sound. Except I could still hear her scream, just not in the air. It was underneath me. I dropped to my knees, pressed my ear to the dirt. She was screaming, but it sounded far away, like from 100 feet underground. Her voice echoing in layers, panicked, desperate, breaking apart. I dug with my bare hands until my nails split, but there was nothing below, just cold soil. I called the rangers. They searched for 3 days, brought dogs, thermal gear. They found no signs she'd ever been on the trail at all, like she never existed. But here's the part I never told them. For weeks after I heard her scream, every time I tried to sleep it would fade in, like a radio signal tuning in from a dead channel, and always beneath me, whether I was home, in the car, even in public. It came from under the floor. One night I ripped up the floorboards of my apartment. I dug down until I hit concrete. Nothing. But that night I woke up and found dirt on my pillow. I moved twice, left Oregon completely. It helped for a while, until this morning. When I checked my voicemail, there was one message. No number, no timestamp, just breathing. Then her voice, whispering, "It's deeper now. Help me." I smashed the phone, but I know she's not gone. She's still screaming, buried somewhere no one can reach, and the worst part is, sometimes when I wake up in the dark, I feel the mattress rise slightly, just barely, as if something underneath me is pressing upward. I was hired to clean out an old church. I found a staircase that wasn't on the blueprints. I take cleanup jobs for real estate agencies, condemned buildings, foreclosures, anything gutted and left behind. Last year I got called to prep an abandoned church for resale in a small Appalachian town I won't name. The church was over 150 years old, the kind with no insulation, all stone and wood, crucifixes still nailed above every doorway. The steeple bell had rusted into place, and the stained glass windows were mostly broken out, replaced by plywood and black trash bags. It reeked of mildew and something older, something bitter. The realtor warned me, "Don't go downstairs, the basement's sealed." They said it had flooded years ago, full of mold, unsafe. But I was there for a full interior strip, so I had to at least inspect every room. I started upstairs clearing debris and tossing what I could salvage. Old hymn books, rotten pews, candles burned to wax stubs. Around 3 p.m., I was sweeping near the pulpit when my foot hit something hollow. It sounded off, not like floorboards. I pulled back the carpet and found a square panel, newer than the rest of the floor, reinforced with iron nails. I should have left it. But curiosity, you know how that goes. I pried it open and found stairs, stone, steep and narrow, leading into blackness. There was no mention of this on the floor plan. I grabbed my work flashlight and headed down. It smelled like wet stone and rusted iron. The deeper I went, the colder it got. The walls were covered in writing, not paint or ink. Scratches. Hundreds, maybe thousands of them. Words in Latin, symbols I didn't recognize. Some looked like tally marks, others like warnings. At the bottom was a room, large, circular, stone walls, a collapsed altar in the center, and chains, rusted, bolted into the ground. 6 of them, arranged in a circle, and on the far wall, a small door, no handle, just wood, covered in black wax, melted and hardened like dried blood. I took a step toward it. That's when I heard the breathing. It wasn't my own. It came from behind the door, low, wet, labored. Then the chains rattled, all of them, as if yanked tight by something just under the surface. I turned and ran. Barely made it back up the stairs before the door behind me slammed shut on its own. I nailed the trapdoor shut, covered it, and left. But that night I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing that breathing, not in my ears, in my chest, like something was trying to match my lungs. And then I dreamed of the door. It opened, and something crawled out. Not walking, crawling, wrong limbs, pale skin stretched too tight, black eyes, no face, just a mouth that opened too wide and whispered, "You broke the seal. Now it remembers you." I woke up screaming, my nose bleeding, the pillow soaked. A few days later, the real estate agency called me. They couldn't reach the listing agent who hired me. The guy had disappeared. His office was locked from the inside, windows shut, but no trace of him. Just his jacket on the chair and his shoes near the door. That night, I saw something move under my floorboards. I haven't been back to that church. I heard they tore it down last month. But if the foundation's still there, so is the door. And sometimes when I close my eyes, I can still hear the chains rattling.